Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Vivian, and this is the book I'm giving away. The drawing will be on Valentine's Day. Hopefully I'll get that in the morning. And you just have to comment down below that you want this book. And eventually PM me your address if you win. I highly, highly recommend this book. It was very eye-opening. Also with this book, you'll get 2 workbooks that goes along with it. And a lot of times, it's so easy to miscommunicate with words. When I'm trying to just get a concept across to somebody or just trying to teach them how to cook something, it's really easy that I use a word they don't understand, or they do that differently than what I'm expecting when I use, that particular word. Communication, the English language is very, it's rife with things that will trip us up. So, and we do use some words incorrectly. Further and farther, do you know when you should and shouldn't use those? Had to look up yay or nay for that South video, and I was like, that didn't look right when I first did it, so it's like, yeah, I did it wrong. So, but that's the way I see it by other people. So, if we're having difficulty just with regular communications in the office, in teaching somebody or learning from somebody, just in a social environment, imagine if we're actually talking different languages when we're trying to be loving to someone we care about and love deeply. And especially in a marriage. And the odd thing that I've noticed, because we read this book back in 96 or 97, I read this, my husband bought me a copy. And this, for over 20 years I've known about this, and I've been watching people, and I have yet to find a couple that spoke the same love language. They had everyone seems to have different love languages than the people they vowed to spend a lifetime with. Let me just give you a quick. The 5 love languages in here are words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. It's not always sex, And the thing is, we need all 5, but one is normally our primary. Sometimes we may have 2 that seems to be very very neck and neck. Mine's words of affirmation. I thrive on it and I speak it. That's mine. My husband's is physical touch, and I'm not a touchy-feely person. But after reading the book, that's what he needed. So people that got to know us after I read the book and started speaking his language, I was always rubbing his back or patting him or holding onto it, around his shoulder, or holding his hand or squeezing his leg. I was always touching on him because it bugged the heck out of me when he was doing that to me. He was speaking his love language to me, but that didn't speak to me. It irritated me. It bothered me. I mean, I knew he wasn't doing it to irritate me. That was him. I didn't understand that was a love language. I didn't, the concept of this stuff. It wasn't in my vocabulary. I didn't understand that. And then it was really very easy to see what the love languages of our children were. Because my daughter, even though it says receiving gifts, I like to just say gifts. Because a lot of times, people with that language, they're also giving you stuff all the time. My daughter, when she could hardly speak, but we would do arts and crafts, and she would cut out little hearts and literally fill me up a bag, one of those big paper grocery bags, and fill it up with cut out hearts. And I could not throw them away. I couldn't just put them up somewhere. I mean, if she saw that in the trash, she would be heartbroken. I didn't understand this when she was 3. So that was definite, you could tell. And my son, it was quality time. I had to be in the room with him, or he had to be in the room with me from an early age. And he still is kind of like, he just wants to hang out. We don't have to be having deep discussions. Don't have to be giving him stuff. He appreciates gifts. And, and the thing is, my daughter appreciates words of affirmation. We all like to be complimented. We all like to be told, hey, you did a good job. Or I know you're going through a difficult time and you're really, conducting yourself well. We all need those kind of things. We also need someone to spend quality time with us, just hang out. I love it when a girlfriend can just hang out with me, come over here, and we don't have to do anything in particular. Just rummaging, whatever. Doesn't matter. Just that's, quality time. Acts of service. Seriously? Who doesn't like someone to come over and do something for them? Rake the yard, clean their house, or clean just one room, Any sort of acts of service. Fix a meal and bring it over. Please. I wouldn't say no to any of this. The gifts, physical touch. And I think a lot of people with the physical touch may get, especially in this day and age of people, sexual harassment and all sorts, you have to be careful. Don't be touchy-feely on people without knowing that that's okay for them. Going to church where everyone's like a hugging church, that was hard for me. I'm like cringing every time. I know what I'm supposed to do, but it's not a comfortable thing for me. And it's not something I enjoy. And people thought I was a touchy-feely person because of my husband, how I treated my husband. And when they got to know us, they realized, because I talk about this book often. I'll be sending you this. Do you know what your love language is? I've also met people who were so deprived, terrible childhoods, and they were so deprived that we couldn't figure out their love language. My daughter and I, it's almost like a game. I was like, yeah, that's, that one's a touch. No, that one's gifts. That one, that one's called, we could pick that out. But when you run into someone who has been so neglected, so unloved, and they are like a bottomless pit for any of them, But oftentimes you can tell by how they do other people's, if they're doing all sorts of services, chances are. But then also that happens a lot when a person doesn't have finances. They can't go out and buy you something. So they do that. And they can't really spend time, so they fix something for you, or they make... So you can't always go by that. Because if they had the money, they may be buying you things. And sometimes, especially in a dating situation, a guy girls are now doing it too, but in my olden years, when dinosaurs roamed, it was the guys buying girls stuff. It was rare that a girl was buying, unless they've been in a relationship a long time and it was his birthday or something. The guys would buy presents. And then, he gets bragging rights and she brags on him and, he got me such and such. But trying to figure out, what are you most comfortable doing is an indication. The book is really good, lots of stories. But it's so important, especially if you are in a marriage, and to be able to speak that other person's love language. Because you can, even with words of affirmation, being told, I love you, I love you, I love you, was not exactly right. Because a lot of times, what my brain processed that, I heard I love you, I heard the words I love you, but the message was, tell me you love me. Because a lot of times we do that, we say, and I don't mind someone saying, I need to know how you feel about me. I'll tell them. But I felt manipulated with the I love you. And it's like, and kids will do that too, because a lot of times kids are very insecure. And I don't understand that, but sometimes it's good to teach them, hey, why are you feeling like that? Do you ever doubt this? I will die for you. Don't ever doubt my love. What's going on? Especially if words are not their language. What's going on? So there's a lot of good information and a lot of things that, to think about. And but all of them, I'll take any of them. If someone wants to do something for me, thank you very much. Someone wants to buy me something, thank you very much. They want to spend time with me. I like that, because I think spending time also, you end up with words. We're gonna talk. If you're around me, we're gonna talk. I can be quiet. I can listen, but it's important. And the whole touchy thing, I'm not gonna be touching on you. I'm sorry. If that's your love language, I will pat you on the back. I will sideways hug you. I will only hold your hands if we're in a big crowd and we could, get displaced and you're like a smaller person. Like my sisters, they're much smaller than me. I'm 5'8", 175 pounds. If you watch my today, if you're keeping up with my intermittent fasting, but I'll pull them along. But they're pretty assertive women now, so it's like not an issue. But that's not where, you got to be careful about that kind of stuff. And I'm not comfortable even patting my grandkids and stuff, and they're like, so it's a very good book. And if you want to do the drawing, leave in the comment that you want to be entered in the drawing. And the drawing would be on Valentine's Day, which I think is suiting for this. Anyway, I'm excited. And again, think about it. Do you whether you read this book or not, what do you think your love language is? And the book tells you, so I'm going to give away a little bit of it. A lot of men immediately jump to physical touch, thinking sex. But there's ways that you can find out pretty quick that's not really their love language. Physical touch. So don't think that that's going to get you that from your spouse, okay, or girlfriend, by going, that's my love language, because sex is actually a very, very small part of that love language, because it builds up. And if you don't have I'm not talking foreplay, okay? Don't mistake my again, speaking words, how do you explain that? There's certain things, and the book does a very good job of explaining that. I didn't want to read that to you. But anyway, I'm just excited about this, okay? So leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you want the book, you have to say you want to be put in the drawing and whatever else. It's not a set fine, put sign me up, or, none of that. Just leave me a comment. And in the comment, let me know if you do want to be in the drawing or not. If you don't want to be in the drawing, if you have a copy of this, then please let it, go to someone else, or maybe you want it and pass it on to someone you think needs it. Whatever. Comment. Let me know. Thanks.